We have 2 speakers in the room, and we have 1 online.
Let's do 2 minutes each.
All right, we'll have Erin O'Brien and Judge Manley approach the podium, please. You will have 2 minutes to speak each.
Good morning, Erin O'Brien. And I'm here today out of deep concern that we are not urgently addressing the current and escalating crisis. As of last Friday, the JAC list stood at 171 clients. The 1 out, 1 in approach may be helping in small increments, but it is not moving people out of jail at the pace that's needed, and we are exhausting the limited resources that we have available. And separate from the crisis faced by those still incarcerated, we're also seeing a serious breakdown in housing support for clients who are in the FSP adult programs. What was once a core element to the intensive treatment programs has vanished. And right now we are using flex funds to purchase tents because the only option left for some of our clients in our intensive treatment programs when they leave residential care is homelessness. And there has been a good long-term planning meeting, but that is not going to help us solve the very real crisis we're in today. And if we're not willing to use either MHSA reserve funds or the prudent reserve or realignment funds to address the crisis that we're in now, then we need to be honest and transparent with ourselves and with the courts and our court partners and plan accordingly. And I understand the fiscal challenges we are facing. I truly, truly do. But let's be clear, if we're choosing not to act, then that too is a decision, and one that has real and immediate consequences for some of the most vulnerable people in our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning,
I'm
Judge.
Judge Manley. I just wanted to ask you and urge you to make this a priority. We simply in the court can't go on this way. We talk about a JAC list. That's fine. It sounds like something in a budget. But it's real people that are sitting in jail for months because we can't release them. They've been ordered released. There's nowhere to go. And everything came to a halt over this housing issue. Then we were told that it would be prioritized and that we would have an interim solution. We have no interim solution. I want to make sure you understand how committed the court is to working with the county. We have 2 federal grants, and from those 2 grants, we are going to commit 12 beds over 2 years at the Vermont facility and another 10 beds subsequently in the next few months. I think you have to make a decision. The jail, if you look at the population projection report, we are seeing more and more acutely ill people in our jail. Our jail is becoming a mental hospital. It already is. And of those individuals, they gave a number of 900. Nearly half of them are receiving the most intensive services that they would get in a hospital. And I think if you read that report and you look at what controls your jail population, what are the drivers? One of the drivers is not being able to get these people out of jail and into treatment. Therefore, thank you. If you don't take action,
go ahead, Judge. Go ahead and finish.
No, what I want to suggest to all of you is if the board doesn't take action, you are now choosing the jail, funding of the jail over people's lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
And online, we have Paul Soto. You'll have 2 minutes to speak. The timer will start when you begin speaking.
Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. Thank you, Judge Manley, for your analysis and for stating very clearly the issue of a person staying in jail. They're under no sentence. They have been released from jail, but because of the deficits that have been created in times past, that person needs to stay in jail. And it has absolutely 100% nothing to do with them. Now, these are lawsuits just waiting to be filed. That's a class action lawsuit. Because you cannot deprive somebody of life, liberty, or property without just compensation. This is a Fifth Amendment law. You cannot deprive them of their liberty without just compensation if you do deprive them of their liberty. And that's what this is. It's a deprivation of liberty caused by deficits in the THU placements and other placements around within the behavioral health system. It absolutely has to be addressed. Because of that, you can't hold somebody incarcerated. I mean, this Mayor Mahan is literally a sociopath. And I mean that. He is bent on, I want everybody that's homeless arrested. And I'm gonna blame the county for the deficits that the city of San Jose's mayor, both him and Mayor Liccardo, created ever since 2016 and the non-disclosure agreement was signed with Google. The city of San Jose necessarily created the deficits that necessarily prevented people from being housed, and the poverty level has increased exponentially. And he's not man enough to accept responsibility or accountability, so he's busy pointing fingers at you guys and weaponizing the police department.
And that concludes our request to speak.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Vice Chair. You have some questions?
Oh, yes, thank you, Chair. I just